The FDA has authorized the use of convalescent plasma to treat patients sick with COVID-19. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Alan Campbell. The emergency authorization was granted yesterday, and while plasma is seen as a promising therapy, the FDA says it does not yet represent a new standard of care.
Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, joins us now with more details on this. And Doc, wow. First of all, explain how convalescent plasma can help.
Absolutely, Glenda and Alan. So convalescent plasma has been around for a while. In fact, it's a century-old approach that's been used before we had vaccines to fend off illnesses like the flu. Now, what happens is when your body has an infection, it creates antibodies, right, to fight the infection off, and these antibodies are found in a person's blood. So when we talk about convalescent plasma, in terms of the virus, it basically means blood that contains antibodies taken from folks who have recovered from the virus that causes COVID-19.
So, Doc, what does the FDA mean when they say it does not yet represent a new standard of care?
So, Alan, the FDA looked at data that indicated that the convalescent plasma for COVID is safe and, quote unquote, shows promising efficacy, meaning that so far it's helped some people, but the evidence to date has not been conclusive. In fact, experts are still debating its effectiveness, but the FDA feels the benefits right now, Alan, outweigh the risks at this point, and they base their emergency authorization on the historical evidence of convalescent plasma that has worked in other outbreaks, right, of respiratory viruses. Plus, they looked at small trials from China and the convalescent plasma program here in the U.S. by the Mayo Clinic.
So what can you tell us about the Mayo Clinic program, Doc?
So, Glenda, the program is actually called the National Expanded Access Protocol, or EAP. And the preliminary data for the Mayo Clinic researchers found that of the 35,000 coronavirus patients that have been treated with plasma, there are actually fewer deaths compared with patients who didn't get the plasma. So good news, right? Also, not surprisingly, they found that patients who were treated with convalescent plasma that contained high levels of the virus-fighting antibodies had a 35% improvement when it came to survival. And also, patients who were treated quicker, within 3 days rather, of diagnosis, they did the best.
So, Doc, let's switch the topic to treatments that have randomized trials because a lot of people want to know about vaccines. What's the latest with remdesivir?
So, Alan, remdesivir, it's an intravenous antiviral medication that has been shown to shorten recovery time for hospitalized patients by 31%. But a new study finds it may not do so well for patients with moderate cases of COVID-19, meaning patients who are not on a vent, who don't need a ventilator to breathe. 600 patients were given a 5-day course of remdesivir, and the results show that remdesivir did not improve clinical outcomes in hospitalized patients that had moderate pneumonia. So again, it's not great news for patients with moderate case of COVID, but here's the story, right? The overwhelming story is that really, really bright minds are coming up with ways to treat this, and I'm confident that we're going to be able to beat this. We just have to stay the course and do what we need to do to prevent it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Stay safe, wash your hands, all those things. Keep your face covered. It's so important.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better, Glenda. Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Nandi.
My pleasure.
And remember, if you do have a coronavirus question for the doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandi at askdrnandi.com, or be sure to send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.
The state